In 1970, the Grateful Dead came to Ann Arbor, Michigan and played a park concert. After the concert, Jerry Garcia came to my shop. I was working on an old 1939 D18 at the time, so I made a neck for it. And I inlaid ivory numbers in it as sort of a camp joke. What fret am I at? Jerry dug that. He thought it was cool, and he liked the black walnut Strat that I was building. So he ordered a guitar, and this is it. He wanted the black walnut body with a rosewood pickguard, maple neck with Brazilian rosewood inlays. Now, 45 years later, I've just taken an order to make a tribute guitar. I knew my friend Rodrigo Gomez was coming from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and we'd have fun together making it. Now, we're about done with the guitar and about to string it up, and we just made a pickguard for it from the same wood veneers that I used back in the 60s. So this tribute guitar is going to have some real mojo. That's a router template, nice thick piece of acrylic, made perfectly that the router and its ball bearings follow. And that ball bearing comes right up against this laser cut jig that has a smooth edge. So how thick the template is important because the ball bearings need to ride against that, not only as they start to cut, but as you lower the router down in for the depths. If it wasn't for that, I could take a pickguard off the shelf and say, this is a router template, but it's not thick enough. To get around that, we took 3 pickguards and we're gluing them together. This is the workboard we're going to make this pickguard on to align 3 pickguards in a hurry while we're spreading the sticky glue that dries really fast. The board's rough cut to the basic shape of the pickguard to make it easier to get to with clamps and a router bit. When it's dry, we have a template. Rod's drilling a hole on each corner for dowels to keep the 3 pickguards aligned while he glues them. Rod drilled those holes through the plastic and into the wood with this drill bit. I took that drill bit and drilled a hole in this piece of mild steel so I can end up by pushing it through my dowel plate and it shave off the little extra bit of wood and I get just the right custom dowel pin for the 4 corners. The double stick tape is to fasten wax paper to the workboard. This keeps any glue squeeze out from sticking the plastic pickguards to the wood. Remove the foil shielding because it won't glue. Use Naphtha to remove any glue left from the shielding. You might need a razor blade too. There you go.
Thank you.
Slosh it on good. That's where the acetone comes in handy. You can dip into that. I'm gonna go put the fan on. These are waxed off with floor wax. You're supposed to say nurse.
Nurse.
Doctor. You want a big one for the center or are we good?
Good job.
Doctor. Okay, we gave that about a half an hour to dry because we went to lunch. Scraped any squeeze out clean and it's a really clean template made from a factory pickguard. Use the template to drill all the holes for the mounting screws and the hardware. Countersink the mounting screw holes and fasten them tight. Nice and flush.
Yeah, sure.
So the router won't catch. Well, actually in our case, so the router table won't catch because we're not going to route this handheld like this. We're going to use a router table because when you get on a little corner like this and it's handheld, it's tippy. And if you tip once, you're going to tear up your piece and the workboard and everything else. So we're going to use a router table. The Don MacRostle binding trimmer with all the parts taken off of it is a perfect router table. And I'm going to do the vacuum while Rod does the routing. You ready, Rod?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Use a Forstner bit to remove most of the wood in the cavity. This makes routing easier and has less chance of the bit hogging. Rod's great with the Dremel. He's drilling small holes for the toggle switch and will connect them later with a small saw. You can hand-hold the router to clean up the pickup cavity since there's no danger of tipping.
Here you go, Dan.
Whoa, man, you make it look easy.
Yeah, with a template you can make it much easier.
You can make them all day. That's Brazilian rosewood. with a simple oil finish, tried and true, just rounded on the edges. This one is black walnut veneer with maple in the center. So we exposed a beveled edge using the beveling bit that also uses a ball bearing on the same template. And this one, on Jerry's tribute guitar, is pretty fancy burl black walnut to match that horn. And we just lacquered it, and he's been strobe tuning it, and it's ready to go out the door. Let's hear that thing.